My colleague Eric Ebbett has sat through the news conference, and he has joined me in the studio for more on what happened during the Special Prosecutor's press briefing. Eric, thank you for joining us. The Special Prosecutor today again made a serious plea for resource allocation. He complains the resource allocated to his office is not enough.
Yes, he mentions that he's seen the allocation captured in the 2022 budget. It doesn't meet their expectations, and so he's going to continue consultations with government to seek to have a lot more resources expended to his office as they continue in their fight against graft. He reiterates the points that they need the resources to be able to fight corruption, because as at the time he assumed office, there was pretty much no work done by his predecessor, and so a lot of resources is needed to ensure that the work can be done. Right.
He spoke on that. Let's take a listen to his exact words.
On another score, I look forward to the provision of adequate funding and the necessary material resources as stipulated in Article 6 and 36 of the UN Convention to carry out this most challenging and solemn mandate. I cannot help but state that without adequate funding and the provision of the necessary material resources, the good intentions of my staff and I would remain just good intentions, with nothing concrete to show for it. Because we need money for everything, especially our operations. And the question as to whether what was allotted today is sufficient, I would say generally in Ghana nothing is sufficient. And what was put there, I have seen. It doesn't match up to my expectations. But I cannot give up. I'll continue pushing the envelope. I keep saying, every opportunity I get, I'll happen. When I inherited the office, there was nothing. There was nothing. Yes, established under law, but its operationalization was huge. And so, to do this, we need the resources to put things in place.
So that was the Special Prosecutor Kissie Agyapong reiterating the lack of resources for his office to make it functioning effectively. Eric Egbert is still here in the studio with me. Eric, aside his call for more resource allocation to the office, what else did he say? Right,
so some interesting revelations were made by the Special Prosecutor Kissie Agyapong in relation to a website that existed. A lot of Ghanaians were of the opinion that that website belonged to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Well, according to Kissie Agyapong, that website was being handled or managed by persons unknown, and as such, he's worked on having the website shut down, and traces go to as far as the United States of America. And so
the trace of that website, do we know the website in question? Did he mention
the OSP's website? There was a website which purported to represent that of the Special Prosecutor in terms of news releases and the likes.
Okay.
The revelation is that it didn't belong to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and that work is now in progress to put up the Office of the Special Prosecutor's own website. And then there were comments also on the invitation thrown to the nominated Dwabi MC, Alexander Safo Kantanka. The Office of the Special Prosecutor makes us understand that the police has submitted its docket to the office, but they are continuing investigations into the matter. As and when they conclude and they can't take that matter up to court, they will do that. And that matter is part of 31 others that are being looked at by his office, where they are expected to take up come January next year.
Did he make mention of any cases that has looked into and closed so far?
It was just one, that of Mahama Ayariga, which he says that upon looking at the docket, it wasn't feasible to continue because it appeared that the state did not have enough evidence towards advancing that argument in courts. But with regards to all other matters, they are still looking at them, and they haven't drawn firm conclusions just as yet on any of them.
Right, we'll see how that goes. He also spoke about an annual corruption league table. How will that work?
Right, so he's expecting to have all MMDA's public institutions have a corruption perception index, which results will be released by the 9th of December each year, which will seek to assess the institution's level in terms of fighting graft. He believes this will push institutions on their own to improve public perception about them in terms of whether or not they are doing enough to fight corruption or not. And so these are one of the key pointers he's looking at to help reduce instances of corruption.
The point behind this is for the populace to know the institutions doing enough to fight corruption and those that are lagging behind. Those that may go on relegating, if you like to put it that way.
Well, you never know.
Right, Eric, thank you so much. Eric Egbeta is my colleague who sat through the press conference by the special prosecutor.